Hey up, how we doing? Welcome back, or if you haven't been here before, welcome. So, what are we drinking tonight? We're drinking a bitter with a bit of a difference. So, I've hopped a bitter. I've never hopped a bitter, late edition hopping I mean, not bittering. I've done loads of bitters before, and I don't mind a bitter, but it's always been lacking something for me. I'm like, it's all right, but I do like a bit of. I just fancy trying something different. I've been moving the boundaries recently. I've been trying new things. It hops that I'm just chucking together, and I thought I'd give this a go. I have got a recipe for my bitter, best bitter. Yorkshire bitter. I think it's. Now I looked at this, I got a bit confused. Now I've been confused before. I think Yorkshire bitter is something to do with water in it. I'm not sure. So best bitter. I call mine the best bitter normally. And I've done a few variations of it. And I just wanted to. It's okay. Like I said, it's okay, but it doesn't blow me away. I like it now and again, but I fancy trying something else. So let's go through the recipe for a start, shall we? Right, so we've got 4.5 kg of pale malt. I think it's just Paul's pale malt. 50 grams of crystal. I used a light crystal. 50 grams of torrefied wheat. 40 grams of chocolate malt. Now the chocolate malt is a little bit old, so I probably tried to use a bit more of that. But anyway, hop additions. So we use 20 grams of Columbus at the start of the boil. We use 20 grams of Challenger at flame out, and we set that at 70 degrees C for 20 minutes. We did a 40-minute boil on this, which is what I normally do now. Now here we go. Here's the bend. We dry hopped it with 40 grams of Citra. We did. So we've named this Frog Bitter because it's hopped. Do you get it? Okay. Right, anyway, we used Cross My Loof 4, and it was a 23 litre batch. Now, we are going to have a taste of this. This was not a smooth sailing brew day, this wasn't. The brew day was fine. The fermenting was a bit of a different matter. So, and the hydrometry reading in. Anyway, we'll go. Let's have a little sip of it, have a little taste, and then we'll talk that through, shall we? You might hear the planes going by. We're near Coningsby, and they're on scramble. They do night flying. I'm sure that's the end of the month normally. We're not at the end of the month. I don't know. Anyway, they're up. So here we go. There she is, into glass. Stick a flake in her, if you like. Is that the torrefied wheat? She is a bit, it's like cream. It's like I've stuck cream on top of it, innit? But nice white head. Nice white head. The colour looks like a bitter, maybe a little bit lighter. No, I don't know. Can you see carbonation going up there? Look, carbonation's about right for me for that. Lovely job. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. I've had a couple of these. Anyway. So you've got some malty backbone. Nice bit of malty backbone. You can taste a bit of the caramel. That caramel taste that you get. It's got a citrus. I mean, these malts together and this, it's made it super creamy. I mean, this is just served on CO2. It's It's just a glass of creamy, medium mouthfeel, fruity, bitter. I'm calling it a bitter because it's a bitter, isn't it? But I have stumbled on something here that has made me very happy. So this is my new recipe, house bitter. I'm not going to brew. I can't see me brewing another normal bitter for a while. This is the beer I'm going to brew. This beer is even going to get its own name. I'm going to name this beer at some point. I don't know what it is yet, but I am going to name this beer and I'm going to brew this again. Like I say, I've frog beer at the minute because, yeah, we've done that, haven't we? Anyway, I tell you what, that is. I mean, I know it's my beer, and I know I sort of created it, and I know I've sort of brewed it, and this has probably been done before. I haven't had a fruity commercial bitter, I don't think, if it's a bitter anymore. I'll tell you what, I am stunned. That creamy, super creamy mouthfeel to this is just absolutely outstanding. I reckon I could probably do a bit more with the bittering hops. Maybe needs a little bit more. Oh, I tell you what, I'm happy. Anyway, shall we just get down to what happened? So we had a couple of issues with fermentation. We have come into the colder weather, and after about 4 days, I noticed, and I hadn't checked on it before, so it could have been 4 days worth of. The temperature was, it wasn't 20 degrees. I fermented it at 20 degrees. It wasn't at 20 degrees, so I stuck my head in the fermentation fridge and it was cold. Wasn't really much going on. There'd been some fermentation start at some point, and then it stopped because my heater packed up. I've got a little tubular heater, you know, the ones that everybody has in fermentation fridges and kegerators and keezers, the ones that go in greenhouses, the waterproof ones. Broken. So I mean, I checked it, I plugged it in, and it was. I was like, oh god, me Inkberg's gone. I've got a problem with my Inkberg. That's a more expensive do. But no, it was the heater. So luckily I've got 2 fermentation fridges, so I just swapped it over to, I'm looking down because it's there and I put it in that one. You can't see that, sorry. But I moved it across to a new fermentation fridge, just stuck some chuck some yeast nutrient in it, and I was going to put some more yeast in and I didn't, but no, we went off again. It started fermenting. I gave it a bit of a check about. I was worried about getting oxygen. I was just like, this is a complete disaster. Anyway, it fermented. Now, halfway through that fermentation, no, it wasn't. My tilt hydrometer battery had gone flat halfway through the fermentation before, so I put a new battery in it. And then fermented, and stopped at 1.020. And I thought, do you know what? I've changed that battery and that tilt. I haven't calibrated it, have I? I haven't even thought about that. Maybe it's lower. So hunted round, thought I'd check it with my hydrometer. I'd lost the jar bit that you put your hydrometer in. I was like, oh, I don't want to chuck it in a great big glass. You use loads, don't you? So I ordered one, I left it, and I ordered one. And then it came and it was at 1.020. I was like, oh, what am I going to do with this? And I went, I don't want to chuck any more yeast in it. And I ain't done anything, put anything in it. I've not had anything that high with Cross Maloof 4 before. I just didn't know what to do. So I risked it. Keg dip. And it doesn't, so my tilt hydrometer is saying 1.020. My hydrometer was saying 1.020. And it is a little bit sweet, but it's not that sweet. It's not that sweet. And I've calibrated my tilt and it was fine. Obviously because it married up to my hydrometer as well. So there is a little bit of sweetness on this, but it just doesn't taste that sweet. Anyway, I don't know. It's a great beer. Now, if I brew this with some different yeast or it ferments out a bit more, will it taste the same? Will it have that lusciousness, that lusciously beautifulness? I don't know, because it came in at, so it's a 3.4% beer, this. So we can, and it's not thin. So we can have a few of these, guys, can't we, ladies and gentlemen? We can have a few of these. I mean, look, I am stunned. I have stumbled upon something that is going to enhance my life. I'm very excited. Now, before I bore you and I lose you, I want to give someone a shout out, because I have been watching Slurpy Dave's Pubs, Beer and Jokes IOM. Now, IOM stands for Isle of Man. And he's got his mate Gluggy. And they do some stuff at home, and they go around the pubs, and they go off the Isle of Man as well. Really interesting stuff. And he hasn't got enough subscribers. Really entertaining, funny guy. He does a few jokes, has some beer. Brilliant. He goes about, talks about breweries. I think it's really interesting. I mean, I love the Isle of Man. I'm really into bikes, but yeah, go give him a sub, guys. Have a look, see what you think. I mean, it really entertains me. I think it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. This beer is great, in my opinion. Probably I'll send some out dinner. I am juicing beer now. I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, I have been drinking this a little bit. I haven't done a review very quick because I've struggled to describe it a little bit. I mean, it's much more complex than what I'm saying. You know, the sweet, little bit sweet, the little bit malty, the citrusy. It just tastes really luscious and beautiful and different. It's different, and there's some things in here that I am not getting, that I don't understand what it is. There's some things I can't describe in it because I'm not really sure what they are. I mean, they're all good, they're all great, but I'm not sure. I can't pick everything out in this, but definitely those malts together and these hops together have made something a little bit different, and I think a little bit special. I don't blame my own trumpet, although I've stumbled on it, completely stumbled on it. I mean, I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. Probably ought to try and get the ABV up a bit. That might have something to do with, I don't know. It had problems, didn't it? Maybe. It didn't get treated the best, did it? It was cold for a start and then it got ramped up. I mean, if you don't have a nice warm huggle, you're not as happy as you normally are, right? A good warm huggle makes everything all right. So it maybe felt a bit rejected and a bit left and a little bit unloved. So it's given me a low ABV. We will see. I'm going to brew this again and we will see if anything changes with the ABV, if we don't have complications with fermentation. Thank you very much. See you again soon. Cheers.
Like, subscribe and hit the bell.